Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Ready, Set, Recap, where we recap what's been going on. I'm Daniel, joined as always by my best friend, Skyler.
Hello, hello.
This week in the news, we have two final trailers for two things that we've talked about a lot, Supergirl and House of the Dragon Season 3, and then we have at least big enough breakdowns of the two major gaming showcases from this week, Summer Game Fest and State of Play. But Skyler, of course, before we get into any of that, what's been going on with you this week?
Not a whole hell of a lot that's fun to talk about.
Sure.
But I will cover two things. One, I started watching Spider Noir. I think it's very good.
Okay.
I think it's very fun. Don't know what else to say about it other than that. I'm not finished with it. I'm only like 3 or so episodes in.
How many?
But I really... 8 total.
Okay. So like just
so
short
almost
of half.
halfway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's very fun. I love Nick Cage in this. I think, I don't want to say, Nick Cage, this is the role he was born to play. But I think he plays it very well.
No, he was born to play the guy from National Treasure, as we all know.
That's true. Benjamin Franklin.
Grimm.
Something. No. I remember he was named after Ben Franklin, but I don't remember what his last... Gates? Ben Gates? I don't remember.
It feels right.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Spider Noir. Not done, but I would give it a recommend. I think it's a lot of fun. And then the other thing to talk about is the NBA Finals are happening. Technically, the Stanley Cup playoffs are also finishing up right now, but I'm going to be honest, I don't really care about either of the teams that are in that. But the NBA Finals, I do care about the teams that are in that because we got the San Antonio Spurs versus the New York Knicks. And friend of the show, frequent collaborator, Abrar, of the Brown Boy Wonder podcast. He's a ride or die New York Knicks fan, and he deserves to be because of all the times that they sucked throughout history, and he was still there. He, for anyone listening who knows enough to care about this, he fell for Jeremy Lin's sanity. He fell for that, and we still make fun of him for that to this day. But they're up right now. They're playing right now as we record in Game 2. The Knicks are ahead in that as well, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on that as we record. But that's it. That's really it. I do kind of want the Spurs to win. But if the Knicks won, I wouldn't be mad because everyone's least favorite conservative pundit hemorrhoid, Ben Shapiro, was like, if the Knicks win, it's the end of America. And it's like, okay, well now they have to win. You fucking piece of shit.
Why would he care?
I think it's just because New York is a blue state and Texas is a red state. That might be it. That might literally be the only reason.
I
don't know. I'm not listening to what he has to say other than I saw the headline and I said, shut the fuck up.
I just cannot imagine him watching a sport.
No, well, do you remember that time that he went to Home Depot and he bought a plank of wood?
I don't, but I remember you telling me about it.
Yeah, to prove he's an honest, hardworking, blue-collar man who supports Home Depot, who was under fire for backing some sort of super PAC that was problematic. I don't remember at the time.
Sure.
He drove out to his local Home Depot, and he went in to support their business because Home Depot needs the support. He bought like one single plank of lumber. And he put it in a little plastic bag, and he's like, here's my receipt. I did it. I bought like a $5 2x4. If that, because I bought lumber at Home Depot before. I don't remember how much it cost, to be honest.
Couldn't tell you. That's really funny, though.
Yeah.
That he was like, Home Depot is getting canceled for being not woke. I've got to go buy a 2x4. Yeah.
To show that I'm also not woke. That's it, though. That's all I've been... nothing fun. Hopefully, I was going to go see a movie. One of the 4 fucking movies of interest to me that are out right now.
Which are?
And, let me see. I do want to see Michael, because everyone was like, it's terrible, but then people who saw it were like, no, it's fun. It's good. I'm like, okay. Masters of the Universe, just because I'm a big fucking nerd and I want to see how,
Apparently it's not terrible.
Yeah, well, I like the director. He was the guy that did Bumblebee.
Nice.
If memory serves. What are the other two? The other two were horror movies. Obsession and, of course, The Backrooms. Okay. Everyone's talking about The Backrooms right now. But the reason
I didn't want you to say scary movie. That's
Let me tell you.
Apparently that movie is ass.
Let let me tell you something, okay? Listen here, I'm gonna put my foot down.
Yeah.
I thought the scary movie movies and all uh of that era parody movies for that matter, I thought they were horrifically unfunny before they took an anti-woke stance.
You
So
you didn't
I was
like
in on the ground
Vampires
fucking
Suck?
floor. I don't
Remember when Cole made
know.
us go watch Vampires Suck?
I do. Shout out. I hope Abrar makes a clip of this, and I hope that it finds him somehow. Shout out our high school friend Cole. It's been like 20 years since I talked to you. I love you. I miss you. You made us watch Vampires Suck in theaters, and it's a grudge that we hold against you to this day.
It's
So go
true.
fuck yourself for that.
I guess.
No, I've never liked the scary movies. I've never liked them.
There's
And
bits in them that I've liked, but generally I don't think that they were ever very good movies. I like Take My
but
Strong Hand.
is that what's his name? Chris Elliott,
I don't know. Oh,
the
is
the
he the weird,
comedian.
gross little guy?
He's got the fucked up hand, I think.
I don't know. Then yeah, I guess so. Where she's like
Uh,
hanging out the window and he's like, "Take my strong
yeah,
hand."
yeah.
That's a
All
good
right,
bit. I like
all
that bit.
right. That one gets a pass. That's a
Yeah.
funny bit. It's the only bit that I can remember from whichever scary movie that was. But then this one came out, and they decided, I know how to get butts in seats. Let's slam woke.
Right.
Oh, okay, okay, Wayans brothers.
I hope it's not doing
What
well.
I I don't know. The to end the story of why
Yeah.
I didn't see a movie today
Bonjour.
was because I looked at showtimes, and granted, it's a Friday, but every showtime that I could have made was like slam packed, and I was like, I'm not gonna pick a shitty seat near the front
Yeah.
for this. And so, I mean, moral of the story is it's the summer and people are going to see movies, I suppose.
But that's good at least, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That implies that
Mm-hmm.
Masters of the Universe is doing at least well enough.
Well, it's because you can't see Jared Leto.
Right. Yeah, that does help when you put him behind
Yeah,
the curtain
well,
like the fucking Wizard of Oz.
it didn't help in the Haunted Mansion movie that he was in,
Well, no, the movie
but
still
it
has to be good.
yeah, we're gonna. I'm gonna have to report back to you on if this one's good once I see it.
Okay.
But I
I
do plan
expect
to
that
see
on
it,
my desk.
which means something, right? It has to mean something.
All
All of
right.
this has to be for a reason.
I don't know if it does, but I appreciate you thinking so.
Oh God, oh God, what did you do?
Not much, honestly. This week has been very work heavy for me. But I did fall into the rabbit hole, and I don't know if you've heard of this. It was brought to my attention from a friend of mine, Randy. There's this ongoing legal dispute with a Lego company. Are you familiar with
I
this?
I did stumble upon this.
It's
Yeah, I'm aware
one
of
of
the
the
bricks and
it's
minifigs.
one of the funny. I've gone very deep into this rabbit hole. So there's this guy, Reckless Ben, who is a like Gen Z YouTuber. He's I mean, I guess he's not really big. He's still sub 1 million subscribers, which is well higher than us, but you know, he's not exactly like, you know, Moist
No,
Critical or fucking
we
Ninja or
will
something.
we will still look down on him for being sub 1 million.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I actually think he's kind of the hero in this story. But
No, yeah, he
yeah,
absolutely is the good guy in this.
for sure. But he evidently his channel is largely him doing weird legal nonsense to like infiltrate people who are getting away with crimes. Like apparently his one of his most recent ones before this was infiltrating an actual literal cult, and
Okay, nice.
he was looking for one that would be you know, a story that would be a little bit more family friendly, something he could like, you know, not get super demonetized for on YouTube, because a lot of the cult stuff is like torture and like actual dark shit. So he was like,
Yeah.
okay, this guy says his dad had $200,000 worth of Lego stolen from him by this company. I'm going to get into that. And somehow it has become not only his biggest video set to date, but also the most legal bullshit he's found his way into.
Yeah.
like he has, to cut to the chase, he has fled to Mexico.
The YouTube guy?
Reckless Ben has fled to Mexico.
Why does he need to flee?
Because there are currently major racketeering charges out against him from the people from Bricks and Minifigs, the Mormon Mafia.
Well, I did see because I'll let you get into more if you know about the company Bricks and Minifigs. But I saw
I'm in that rabbit hole, baby.
I saw today that the like the CEO of Patreon. Everyone
Yeah,
knows Patreon. Everyone has subscribed to Patreon. We don't have one yet.
at some point, you know.
Wink. Hopefully we can. Hopefully, um, but the CEO of Patreon was like, we were given like a cease and desist or something
A takedown
on
order from a judge.
a takedown from a judge to take down the Patreon page for the guy that Bricks and Minifigs ripped off.
No, well,
And
not for the
we
guy who was
said,
ripped off, but for Reckless Ben. The guy who was ripped off is just like some
oh,
third party.
it was for Ben. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, long story short, the CEO was like, "Go fuck yourself and sue me if you want."
basically. So you can tell that the CEO has like very clearly watched the videos in question, because what he says in particular is like, and if if you don't like that, then you can sue me. Because
Yeah.
what Bricks and Minifigs has been doing, apparently to a ton of people, is like doing horror. So, okay, let me start from the beginning, but quickly. What happened is this guy's dad is dying, and his dad
Yes.
has built up the largest collection, reportedly, of Star Wars Lego sets, right? You might have to throw in the word allegedly every so often while I'm telling the story, by the way, just for like legal reasons.
I was gonna hit an allegedly on all of it.
Yeah.
If anybody in the apparently very busy legal office for Bricks and
Yeah,
Minifigs
fucking apparently.
finds our video with like 12 views on it,
Yeah. If you're coming after us and not
allegedly.
allegedly, just every so often when I say something out of pocket, just throw out an allegedly.
All right, I'll be like your hype man. I'll be the DJ Khaled.
Yeah, I need like
Allegedly.
a Key and Peele, what was it, like rage interpreter or whatever, but just
Mhm.
like a lawyer standing behind me saying allegedly every couple minutes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what had happened was he had this collection and he wanted to sell it because you can't take it with you, but he wanted to sell it so that he could make money to pay for his grandkids' college funds, right?
Right.
Because college is expensive, especially now. So
Allegedly.
he does that part's real. I don't think you need to do allegedly on that one.
I'm just covering all our bases
you're right,
until
you're
big
right.
college comes to sue us.
Sure. So he entered into a consignment deal with a local franchise of Bricks and Minifigs, which is a big Lego store that is apparently national. I don't know how many locations they have, but they're relatively
We
big.
have one near us.
Yeah,
I've never been to it, but I've driven past it, and I was like wondering,
Right.
like, how does that work? Does Lego own that? And I
They
still
don't.
know.
No, it's basically a GameStop for Legos. They're like a resale location for Legos. And worth noting also is like if you have a local Bricks and Minifigs like ours, they're probably completely unrelated because most of those locations are completely franchise owned, so they're not actually owned by the company. They're like rented in the same way that most McDonald's are not actually owned by McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy in charge of your local shitty Burger King isn't in charge of whoever owns Burger King
he's
making
not
an anti-gay milkshake.
sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if Burger King did that.
No, I think
allegedly.
they've mostly been doing like SpongeBob tie-ins and shit. So it feels like that's the opposite of anything.
That's the gayest thing you can do.
Apparently, yeah. Anyway,
non-derogatory.
non-derogatory.
Go on.
But he entered into a consignment deal, which is basically I'll give you my product, you sell it for me, and then you take a cut at the time that you sell it, but I still own it. It's just in your store. Then the owners of the owners of the store started posting about how they had gotten this huge $200,000 collection of Star Wars figures. Their CEOs then accused them of selling heroin out of the store so that they could take control of the store. At that point, allegedly, at that point, they now claim that because they aren't the ones who signed the consignment deal, that they don't have to give that family money for the things that they sold. The problem is, Reckless Ben, being Gen Z, is always online. And so he records abso-fucking-lutely everything. Every single second that he has spent talking to anybody associated with this situation, he has recorded either through like those glasses with the cameras in it, or he's recorded the audio of phone calls. So they have him like the CEOs and owners of the store on record constantly being like, yeah, we'll take over the consignment deal, no problem, like from the previous owner. And then they're trying to be like, oh, well, we told them that they couldn't do a consignment deal in the first place. Well, Reckless Ben has the original franchise document that says, yeah, you can do consignment deals, that's fine. So they're just lying left, right, and center because I think these boomer ass CEOs are just like not used to being so heavily recorded. They're not used to the internet existing, so it's very funny. But their argument now is or sorry, they've changed it recently because now they've gotten so fucked over that they are kind of like rolling it back. But
Mhm.
their argument for about 2 years now was we we don't have to pay the family for the things that we sold because we didn't enter into the deal. But also, we don't have to give the Legos back because it was in our inventory. So it's our thing. It's like that's not how that works.
No,
either
no,
either it's not yours and you should give
you
the product
stole it,
back, or
allegedly.
it is yours and you're part of, and then you still have to take on the deal and pay them when you sell it.
Hmm.
Those are the two options. It can't be neither. Like, it can't just be like, oh well, we just get this for free now. That's not how that works. Like, Legal Eagle had a video. I've watched a lot of videos about this. Legal Eagle had a video where he was like, if the owner left their car in the parking lot, the CEO doesn't now own that car. Like, that's not how it works. That's not how the law works. So it went round and round in circles. Reckless Ben was like trying so hard to get, and he's like being kind of a fucker because like he's just who he is. So he's doing it in a lot of like kind of funny ways sometimes that he probably shouldn't have, but he's trying to he's like going through all these troubles to like, okay, so how do we do it? Do we sue them? And they were like, they had told the family originally, hey, if you sue us, we're a big company and you're a family, we'll drag it out until it makes you go bankrupt because you don't have the money to do it. So that's why the Patreon guy said the same thing back to them, because Patreon is way bigger than Breaks and Minifigs. So he was like, all right, sue me, bitch, like do it. Right?
Yeah, drag you
because
out.
the public backlash is very strong. Turns out the Lego community, insane, like incredibly tight.
Oh, of course.
Like
of course.
Their logo should just be of the community should just be that little piece that you have to get to like separate certain pieces when they're stuck too close together, because the Lego community is like ride or die. It turns out they're crazy.
Let me tell you. It's insane that this is no joke. I bought a Lego set like last week and I just finished building it today.
Yeah.
It is the Going Merry.
Oh.
And it's got the first 5 crew members on it. And it comes with that little piece, and that little piece is a godsend.
It's a lifesaver.
Because there's even pieces that get stuck, and you're like, but how could this can't do that? But it can. It can do that.
So
it's really good.
I won't go through the whole thing. If people are interested in it, and I highly recommend being interested in it because it's such a great story, go to Reckless Ben's YouTube channel, support him there, watch it there, then go and watch all of the surrounding content. Go and watch like Moist Critical talk about it, go and watch Legal Eagle talk about it. It's such a fun rabbit hole to just fall down, and it is a developing story currently. The last thing that we've heard is that, well, no, I mean, but the last thing that we heard is that the 2 owners of the store, the 2 that took over, who are like huge assholes, Joshua Johnson and Ben, it's JJ and BB. Ben, it doesn't matter. They have been fired from the company, but like through like amicable means. So they probably got like a payout to like fuck off, because they were like their name was so mud they couldn't have walked into that location, which actually ended up getting shut down anyway.
Good.
But like it starts with, the video starts basically with Ben walking into this Bricks and Minifig store in Salem, Oregon, and being like, hey, my friend Brian has some Star Wars Legos here. Can I get those back? Or like, can we talk about that? And within 1 second of him saying that, the manager of the location is like, I'm calling the police. I'm calling the police. You've been trespassed from this location. Get out. And then it spirals for like 3 hours of content, which is ongoing. Part 2 is out regularly. Part 3 is on his Patreon, which I guess if you want, you can support him there. He's going to need the money for legal fees, it turns out now. But he said that there's like 6 parts worth of bullshit. And what we've seen just in the first 2 is the owner of the store calling the local police and claiming that Ben has heroin in his car so that they would search his car for 3 hours.
Why is that their go-to?
They love it. It's their favorite thing, it turns out.
That's what the fuck?
It's had police corruption, because not to, to do a take, but this whole thing like centers somehow around the Mormon Church of Utah. And so
allegedly,
well, yes, yeah, allegedly, for sure, allegedly.
I'm gonna hit us with that one.
Yeah, is because like it's a really small knit town, and so the Mormon Church is really big in it, and so everyone in it is super tightly knit, and they're like protecting their own people allegedly, and a lot of those people are the police who have been caught on camera. This part, unfortunately, I don't know if it's allegedly, but I'll say allegedly anyway. Just like fully not doing their jobs, like either refusing to prosecute or like
Let me tell you,
doing fake
that is
traffic stops and do just all kinds of
that is
bullshit.
more common than you would ever hope to think.
There's a
Because
bit.
I told you about and I won't go into super detail. But I told you about when I was on jury duty, and the main focus point was a police officer on camera just willfully like pushing over evidence and ignoring it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it happens
This is
everywhere, I guess.
this is worse than that, frankly, because that's just them being like,
Yeah.
just like, ooh, and just like maybe not seeing it or like not really caring. This
Yeah.
is them like
Yeah.
going
Fuck
out of
it.
their way, because it's
Mhm.
like there's a bit where Ben sitting in the back seat of a car and a friend's driving. A cop stops him allegedly for rolling a stop sign, even though they requested the dashboard camera. They very clearly stop at that stop sign for like two full seconds. Um, and he doesn't even really acknowledge the driver. He leans his head and looks at the back seat and says, "Are you Ben? Welcome to Utah,"
Okay.
which is crazy. But yeah, it has spiraled to the point where Ben has fled to Mexico. He currently has racketeering RICO charges on him.
RICO charges.
Which is what they apparently used to take down the mob.
I watched The Sopranos. They do RICO.
Is Rico a character in The Sopranos too, or
No.
it feels
No,
like
no,
it
no,
could
no,
be?
no.
He has been given like felony stalking charges because he was outside one of the owner's houses trying to serve him legal papers, because you have to do that in Utah in person to get a lawsuit put through. He's been arrested twice. Local judges are trying to refuse him having bail so that they have to lock him up for a full like months at a time between his trial, but he's gotten out of it every time because he's really good at legal loopholes, it turns out. It's so fucking interesting. I highly, highly recommend people go and watch it. It's been crazy. I'm invested.
I didn't even know that like the majority of what's going on is an entirely different guy than what originally transpired.
Yeah, so it's this family like the only person that we know from the family is named Brian, and he basically reached out to Ben and was like, "Hey, can you help me with this?" And now Ben has legally taken the whole thing onto himself, because Brian still owns the Legos as per the terms of the contract that they signed up, the consignment deal. Brian sold the Legos to Ben, so now Ben is the owner of those Legos, so Ben can take legal action to try and get it back himself.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Well,
that's what it has been. And
shout out to dude.
Ben started a GoFundMe to make money for the legal fees and to repay the owner or the original owner of the stuff. So they've made like $300,000, and all of that's going to the family. The Patreon is paying
awesome.
for his personal legal fees, but the family already had some legal fees of their own.
Makes sense.
So he's doing some good work. And is he kind of a little fucker? Yeah, absolutely. He's like the definition of chaotic good. Like it's like he's like if fucking Mr. Mixelplix was going after the mob. Like that's what it is.
Listen, I don't know this guy's background, so I can't vouch or condone for all of it and any of it, whatever.
He definitely
but
does some things he should not have done, for the record.
Sometimes you allegedly need a little fuckery, I guess.
It's that thing where people were like, if only you would use your powers for good. He's doing that's what he's doing.
This is him doing that.
Like he was being, I'm sure, being a little fucker in high school.
If
someone was like,
Logan Paul wasn't just an asshole, allegedly.
Yeah, if Logan Paul like looked to find missing people instead of filming their bodies, allegedly.
Yeah, and they say that's what Mr. Beast is doing, but I don't know. I allegedly don't trust it.
You don't have to say you don't. You don't have to allegedly that you don't trust it. That's not
No,
that's not defamation.
I allegedly don't like him.
Only other things I've been doing other than that, I started watching My Hero Academia again. I didn't finish it at the time that allegedly. I didn't finish it at the time that the first two seasons were. The final two seasons, which are kind of one season, were airing because a friend of mine had read ahead in the manga and was saying that it was really bad. So far, I disagree with him. It's been really good so far. I've still got like 20 episodes left, so I guess it still has time to shit the bed. But also, that friend is like notably a pessimist and kind of a wet blanket, so he might just be like that. So we'll see where that goes. I got to my personal ending for Forza Horizon 6, which is I got to the Gundam fight, the Gundam race.
Yeah, you raced him. How'd it go?
It was good. It was fun. It's Chaser Zero. He's a cool robot. You race him in a really cool car, and then so throughout Forza, you're like collecting these wristbands that are like they're your basically it's like what level you're at, sort of. It's like your karate belt. Like each level that you get basically unlocks bigger races and faster cars.
Okay.
And every time the last race, when you earn each of the wristbands, it's like a big showcase one, and that's what the Chaser Zero race is. And I looked at what the other ones. There's like three more after that, and I looked at what they were, and I was like, I don't really care about any of those. So I was like, no, this is my ending. This is as far as
Okay.
I needed to get, and so I'm done with that game. It's really good. I'm just not a car guy. I'm just not that interested.
Yeah. Time to
So
move on.
once we got past the weeb shit, I was like, well, that's my area of expertise done, and I'm moving on. But Skylar,
Mm-hmm.
let's get into our first story. This one's going to be kind
Let's.
of a funny one. That I don't know how much we'll be able to talk about it because there's not a whole lot of information other than
Uh-oh.
just laughing about it.
Allegedly. Go on.
No, this one's real. This one's real. Is WWE 2K26 has announced that they will be having a celebrity guest character who will be playable, and it is none other than video game company and maker of the game CEO Strauss Zelnick will be a playable character in WWE 2K26, and he will enter to a to a theme of Frank Sinatra's "My Way," as in presumably "fuck you, I paid for it, I'll have it my way."
Right. I saw this. Sure. This is for somebody, I
It's
guess.
I don't actually think it's for anybody, because like there's been celebrities in 2K before. I know Machine Gun Kelly was in it one time because I think he also did like a bunch of the music for it or something.
The recent infamous one that I can think of was they put every single member of Pat McAfee's podcast show in a DLC pack.
That's incredibly stupid. But at
Yeah,
least that's like adjacent to wrestling. Like, you know what I mean? Like Machine Gun Kelly had a
because
moment
Pat
at
Pat McAfee was in. Yeah,
right. Like Machine Gun Kelly did a thing in an angle. Pat McAfee works there. His podcast people have been there. Like we've seen them at wrestling events. Strauss Zelnick is just
sure.
a guy who works at he's just the owner of Take Two, basically. Uh
Yeah,
it's really weird because I also feel like most people who are gonna play that game don't know who the fuck that is. Like they
you
certainly wouldn't recognize him by his face or name.
you you know what's the weirdest thing about it? Now that I'm really focusing on it, why would you announce it?
That
Like
right.
if they had just put him in, if it was just like, oh, this is the guy, he's the CEO of Take Two, like it says in his little bio or
Sure.
whatever,
It's like
which
that's funny. Sure.
they don't really have that on 2K rosters, but if
Well, I guess they assume you know who
they
the wrestlers
did,
are.
yeah, maybe his shirt just says I own Take Two.
You
Um
paid me for this game.
yeah. Uh so like if he was just in the game, people would be like, that's weird, but okay. Or like even no explanation. He's just in the game, then you look up his name, you're like, oh, he owns the company. That's fucking stupid. That it wouldn't have been a news story though. The fact
No.
that they announced it like look who you get to play as. That's so fucking weird. There have been like tons of cases where like there was like a playable character in one of the Guitar Heroes, and it was like, who the hell is this guy? You look him up, and he was like, not Make a Wish, but I think just like a fan that like was dying, and so they put him in the game,
Sure.
and it was like, oh, that's cool. It hits a little different than who the hell is this guy? Oh, he's the billionaire that owns.
He's the billionaire who's making shit zillion dollars off of Grand Theft Auto in a couple months. That's who he is.
Yeah. And then the next DLC pack, you get to buy and play as the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, and that DLC, you don't actually get to choose whether or not you buy it. Your game ceases to function if you don't have it, and it does cost $30.
And actually installing it takes the women out of the game.
Right, and out of your home.
Wow.
What a fun time we live in.
Sure.
I don't think
What
this
a
is
time.
evil, but it is
Well,
very weird.
it's stupid.
It's very
It's
stupid.
fucking stupid.
Yeah. But you know what's not stupid, Skylar?
What?
The final trailer for Supergirl.
That's true. That wasn't stupid. It
This
was
is
a good
actually
trailer.
a real good trailer. It's set to is the song just called Call Me?
Call me.
Yeah.
Call me, Supergirl, call
So
me. Yeah.
yeah, we see her land on Earth. We see her meeting Clark, presumably for the first time. We see
Hmm.
her getting her suit from Clark, and he's like, "I know it's really colorful, but it just lets people know that we don't suck."
I like that line.
It's good. It's good. We see her kicking some serious ass on top of some ship. We get to see Lobo doing motorcycle shit. I think this is a really effective trailer. I think that this is like, hey man, if you weren't interested before, this is the best shot you're gonna have to be interested in it. And I mean, I already was, but I definitely am very
Yeah.
excited for this movie.
Any concerns that I have or had for this movie is all surface level of just like I'm concerned that what we see is basically all we're gonna get. But that's
Yeah,
I still think it'll be a good movie. I'm gonna waive those concerns because Millie Alcock is getting so much shit from like absolute chuds right now.
for what? What could they possibly be mad about? She's a white blonde lady playing a white blonde lady. Like, there's nothing to be mad about.
Well, then it just defaults to her being a woman then. So I think like well, she's getting
Oh
shit from two camps. One, the one that well, you don't have to take either of them seriously, but
no,
one
don't.
is the Snyder people.
Oh,
They're gonna the anti James Gunn stuff and they
their
say horrific
Supergirl
things
existed for
about
like 30 seconds. Like, what do they care? She
it doesn't matter.
she's a good actress, but I don't think
It's
that was a good Supergirl.
it's the Gunn universe.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's not they're gonna attack shit no matter what. And then I don't know, she's just become this like target for I don't want to say MAGA specifically, but like that kind of hateful camp. I think she said something recently like, I don't know, if you don't like me, then blow me. I don't know. She said something like that, and
And I
then
respect it.
it's made a bunch of the usual suspects get angry.
That's
So
exactly what Supergirl would say. I don't know what you want from her.
I'm gonna support her in this. I'm gonna
Yeah.
support Millie with this one.
That's great. I didn't know she said that, but I'm all for it. The only concern that I have for the movie based on the trailer, which I think I've said this before because it's been true of all the trailers, is it doesn't really look like the comic, which is fine. I really like that comic. And clearly
Sure.
they do too because they're basing the movie on it, at least the
In
plot of
name
it. Yeah.
or in plot in the original name.
Yeah, the visuals of it have dramatically changed. The comic is extremely colorful. Even the way a
Yeah.
lot of the characters look. Lobo's not in it, so they're clearly taking liberties, which is fine. It's fine
Mhm.
as long as the movie's good, which I think it probably will be.
Mhm.
But it does make me wonder, like, is there going to be a bit where like Supergirl gets really high and it turns into being as colorful as the comic? Because I'd be down for that.
You think Supergirl's gonna take hallucinogenics in the film?
Maybe not on purpose. Maybe she gets hit by like a plant.
Mm. All right, we'll make a bingo card before we go in. We'll see what happens.
Will the magic space horse show up? I don't know. Feels like probably not. Maybe that's just
I didn't
Lobo.
read I didn't read the comic, so I don't know.
It's good.
Maybe he yeah, she when she's high, she sees him instead of the motorcycle, it's a
she,
space
she
horse
sees him as a horse.
and it's framed like the Old Spice commercial where he's holding I probably just Old Spice. Sure.
Yeah, why not? Product placement. Get in there.
Yeah.
Also in sort of DC Universe news, we got the first look at Lex's war suit for their filming. They've started filming Man of Tomorrow.
Yes, they
And
have.
so we've gotten, frankly, kind of a lot of leaks of just like shit happening. We've got clips
Yeah.
of Lex Luthor getting punched through a fucking wall, presumably by Superman.
Unfortunately, we complain about them filming inside a green box all the time, these big Hollywood movies, but then
Right.
when they don't, we get a constant Reddit feed of everything that's happening. So
Yeah.
I just, well, all right.
I think they're filming this in, I want to say Atlanta. Is that right?
I don't know. That is a place that people film things.
Because I know
That's all I got.
the Batman 2 is being filmed like in England, but I thought this is being because Cleveland is what Metropolis is supposed to look like, but I don't think they're actually filming there this time. I feel like this one's Atlanta. I don't remember. Anyway, I think it looks good. I mean, it doesn't. It looks stupid, but it looks accurately stupid in a way that I'm happy about. You know what I mean?
Practical.
Yeah.
Like they're using a practical. I'm sure they'll touch up a shit ton of stuff.
Oh yeah, they'll be
in
adding
the
like
practical shots, and then there will
yeah.
be shots that are fully CG, of course. But the point of reference, somebody made a practical bulky suit and made Nicholas Holt get in it.
And
So
he's able to walk in it
that's
seemingly pretty easy.
that's pretty good.
So that's cool. they
Snyder
added
Bros were complaining about that too.
get fucked. Your Lex Luthor literally the worst, one of the worst parts of that universe, and that's fucking saying something.
So I think I was seeing a thing that they were like comparing this suit, this Lex super suit, to like a non-official super suit that somebody made like an action figure out of for that Lex Luthor. And they were like, ours was better. It's like, you
Ours was
didn't have one.
it didn't
What are you
exist.
talking about?
He didn't. Your Lex Luthor didn't do shit. He like made Joker noises in a prison cell one time. Like I don't fucking. What do you want? Yours wasn't even bald. Like get out of here.
He was too scared to be bald until he was on a yacht.
Fucking golly. No, it's for people who don't know, I guess he wears this suit very often in comics and in games, and basically every other version except the movies that live action movies that we've seen, because you know his rival is a fucking Kryptonian space god, so he can't just be a guy. Like he needs to have something to power him up. Usually, it's got a fuckload of kryptonite all over it too. So we'll see if that ends up being true.
It's that rule of like we love a methodical genius level science and math villain, but then well he's got to punch something.
Every so often you gotta punch a guy. Like it's just you just gotta do it.
I think there were suits for TV shows like John Cryer and Supergirl, and then
John Cryer. Yeah, I didn't watch Supergirl, so he might have had one.
What was his name?
Michael Rosenbaum. He didn't have one.
No, Michael Rosenbaum didn't. But the other guy, he was
from
on The Walking Dead.
Right.
He in the other Superman and Lois show.
Right. He played like Eugene in Walking Dead. I didn't watch that either, but I should. Apparently it's
really good. He played Abraham. Come on now.
Abraham? Oh, I just messed up their names. That's who I meant. The guy, the soldier guy with the mustache.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck is his name? We're gonna have to find out his name.
Yeah, we'll find out. The only other thing that I have to say about this is typically he doesn't have the fishbowl over his head that he does in this one. But James Gunn was like, well, he can't just have his head out or Superman just punch him. So
Michael
he added
Cutlets.
Nice. So
allegedly.
So no. You looked it up. It's gotta be. But
just covering our bases.
So he added the dome, and he probably not in canon, but James Gunn has referred to it as Lexiglass.
No, he will say it in the film.
As in plexiglass, but Lex. I think that's very funny. I'm for that. In the other world of trailers, though, we got one other final trailer for House of the Dragon Season 3, which is the second to final season of the show, and the final trailer for the penultimate season of the trailer, or of the show. I don't have a ton to say about it, because we've talked about it quite a bit, and it seems to just kind of reiterate a lot of things from that. I also think this is a really good trailer. I think that it does speak probably largely to the, we'll say, chuds, who have been sort of dogging on the first two seasons for not having enough war. This is the season where they said we're just going to do war the whole time. It seems like
this is the big war.
Yeah, this is the war season where we do war and people get shot or whatever. We see in the trailer that apparently Rhaenyra takes King's Landing. We see the Battle of the Gullet, which is presumably when she does so. We see a bunch of dragons flying over King's Landing. We see her not wanting to hurt people, but still needing to like get revenge and take King's Landing. So basically, she's what Daenerys should have been.
Allegedly.
No, I mean that one. Send the lawyers.
Oh no! George R.R. Martin is gonna roll up in that big plastic ball he was in, and he's gonna serve you the legal papers. You've seen it.
I have not seen it. But yeah, it looks really good. I forget that the one son with the eye patch, his name, I think it's like Aemon or Aegon. It's one of those things. He's going like full serial killer, it looks like, in this trailer, just like murdering people left, right, and center. I think I saw him slit a dude's throat, so that's going to be fun to see. I don't know. This looks like it's going to be incredibly high budget, very expensive. People are probably going to be really into this, and I think I will be too. But both this and Supergirl, are like at the end of this month, so it's going to be a crazy June, July turn for pop culture in this house.
I'm running out of time to watch everything that's already out. It's Jesus.
And then our final story here, before we get into the actual state of play and stuff, was we have some information from a PlayStation earnings call, which unfortunately will sort of color the state of play to some level.
Oh, no.
And basically the big takeaway is that PlayStation's first-party sales have dramatically fallen off since the launch of the PlayStation 5. basically every quarter, with rare exception, they have continued to drop lower and lower and lower to the point where at the time of the launch of the PS5, they were selling roughly 58 million games a year, first party games a
Mhm.
year, and now they're down almost fully 30 million a year. So they are in terms of unit sales, are in pretty dire straits. Also, with the price increase of the console and a couple of other things that we talked about in the UK, like the Face ID thing that they're forcing, their console sales themselves have slowed quite a bit. So financially, you would think that they're doing really badly, but they're not, because in order to make up for that, they have also shut down 8 studios and laid off thousands of people. So it's actually more profitable than ever. It's a really well-run company, it turns out, financially, according to their shareholders. And everything's fine. And everything's fine. And we're doing great. How are you?
I'm okay. I don't work for PlayStation though.
Yeah. So, financially, they are still very stable. Although I don't like the ways that they've maintained that stability.
Hmm.
But there's a lot of things you can point to as to why their sales have fallen off. I think the biggest reason is that they kind of just like stopped putting out games and switched to that live service push that clearly didn't work for them, because they canceled all but two of those games before they
Right,
even
right,
actually came
right,
out. So,
right. Allegedly.
well, we only have two. So, but Skyler, let's get into the state of play.
Yeah.
What
It's
is
it's uh it's we're dancing on the corpse that was E3, and so
a
we've
little
got
bit
two of the big shows done and dusted, and I watched some of it,
much
and some of what I watched was in fact the state of play.
nice, nice. So the show opens up with a fairly lengthy gameplay section from Wolverine. I think we got a really good look at this. The
Yeah.
plot appears to be, as we already knew from big leaks a while ago, but now we officially know. The plot is that a group of cyborg type people called the Reavers have stolen a bunch of mutant kids for reasons that we don't really understand, and
Right.
Wolverine is trying to get them back, and he's being aided on that quest, I guess,
Hmm.
by Laura Bailey in a red wig. I mean, Jean Grey.
Hey, we like any Laura Bailey in this house.
That's true. I have heard people not thrilled that they're both pretty old, because I mean, Wolverine is ageless to some extent, but
Yeah.
the one of the things that they've said in the lead up to this is that in this universe the X-Men don't exist. So they're like,
Yeah.
so then why is Jean Grey already 45? And there's part of that where it's the same people being like, she's not hot enough because she's 45, because she's Laura Bailey who's 45.
Yeah, but Laura Bailey doesn't need to voice someone that is 40. She could be like 28 or something.
Sure, yeah,
She's a
but they've
voice actor.
they've very clearly just face scanned her into it. So
Sure. Well, because she's a beautiful woman. What's
she's,
the
yeah, it's
what?
what's the problem? And I agree. And I agree.
Getting mad.
Well, you're not gonna get happier by the end of this conversation. The end of the state of play is gonna be, I think, rougher than this one. But so yeah, so the X-Men don't exist in this universe.
That is
Instead,
true.
Wolverine is part of a team called Team X,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I don't know if that's like going to be a precursor, sure, and we'll get the X-Men by the end of it, or if they're doing a thing where they're like, well, we can't have X-Men because like half of them aren't men. So I don't know. It could be
That
literally, it could
can't.
go either way. If it's that second one, I'm actually really for it,
No.
because it would piss the people online off so much. Like, is it stupid? Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
Well,
But
when you put it
I'm
that way.
for pissing those people off well enough, and I don't care about this game enough. Really, the two combinations is the
Sure.
perfect middle ground, where it's like you can just fact check, are people pissed off about this? Then they probably suck. Uh,
Sure.
they reiterate also, because this was something I was curious about. When you make a Wolverine game, because Wolverine immortal and has a healing factor that makes
Right.
him basically unkillable. They've said he
Hmm.
can die if his heart stops, but that his heart will be restarted, or can be restarted by rage or adrenaline. Which I was like, so he can just never die in a fight, right? Because you're not fighting without rage and adrenaline, right?
No, he's calm under pressure.
He's got a health bar, so a Falcon apparently.
You
But
know
yeah,
what they should have done? They should have done exactly what they said. Logan can't die, but his heart will stop, and then it gets restarted with rage and adrenaline. That should have been a counter. You've gone down this many times, and then by the time that you finish the game, you get a score, not unlike Resident Evil games, and then it goes on a leaderboard.
Yeah, just name and shame people who are bad at the game, I
That's
guess.
what they should have done. And then it's just like, look, this guy cleared it, no deaths. He's on the top. How
Legend.
cool.
So okay, so this trailer goes on for a while. They do a lot of gameplay in it. We see a lot of the combat, which I think looks good, but I am against how much blood there is because
Okay,
it doesn't look
that's
realistic. It looks really fucking
that,
weird.
I was holding on to it, but let's get into it now.
Yeah, it's a lot.
My funny, silly take for this hardcore rated R gory Wolverine game,
Yeah,
which I'm all for. That's too much blood.
it's too much. Well, because okay,
because it's not it looks silly.
it does. And it's not even coming out of where he's stabbing them most of the time. It's like he stabs them and they just explode into blood.
That I'm willing to whatever. But like the fact that he every time you kill anybody,
Right.
Logan is drenched in red paste, which by the time that you get to the next person has faded away
Because of video games.
so that you can just do it again.
Yeah.
That's gonna can I turn that off? Because
You
that's gonna
can.
get annoying.
You can. So there is apparently
I don't want no blood.
They've said there are low gore paths for people who are squeamish about blood, which is not really who we are, but like I
When
will
they
be probably
phrased
turning that on.
They phrased it that way,
Yeah.
when they said paths, I was thinking like, if you make all the right decisions, you don't have to kill anybody.
Yeah,
and then someone who is really squeamish makes the wrong decision, and they have to rip someone from the room. They're like,
Dude,
no,
they have
God,
to rip a
please!
child in half.
Oh no!
For me, it almost read like, we put low blood options in here for people who are crybaby little wusses. And I'm like, I guess that's me, but also it just... Here's my thing, right? And I've talked about this a lot on the channel, where
Yes,
with a Wolverine type of character where I'm an angry guy and I'm going to kill 100 people, this is like not a character trope that I appreciate, which is why I don't really like the Punisher or Kratos.
what about I'm a tired guy that has to kill 100 people like John Wick?
That is better. That is better. Yeah. So when I look at this and I see little hairy Canadian man with his disgusting furry shoulders out,
Oh, he's very furry.
he's
yeah.
disgusting. I also, we can move past this real fast. Not a big fan of the costume that he's in this gameplay. I will be changing it immediately. I don't think it looks good.
I assume there will be
There's
as
tons.
many
Yeah.
costumes like as the Spider-Man.
We've already seen like 6 announced, so there's a lot.
Sure.
I'm gonna put him in the cowboy hat from the first trailer.
That'll be fun.
That's what it's
I
gonna
like
be.
that.
But it's just like, if I'm stabbing people with my hand knives and
Mhm.
making blood explode from every orifice of their body, I just don't think I'll feel like a hero. I don't feel like I'm gonna feel like the good guy.
Maybe that's not what this game is for.
He's saving children.
Maybe. Yes, he is. He is. He's saving that gross little lizard
He's
boy that's from
saving-
the comic books.
He's
I
saving
think.
Leech or whatever his name is.
Yeah. But he, you play Spider-Man and you're a hero. You play Wolverine and you sneak up on that lady who's like, "Oh God, please no!" And then you rip her fucking head off.
Jesus Christ.
That's what Wolverine's gonna be, I think. So,
Man, yeah, I just don't know. I don't know that it's gonna be a game that I love. I'm probably definitely gonna play it, but
I'm certainly gonna play this.
I don't think I'm
yeah.
gonna like it as much as the Spider-Man games. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I really don't think it's gonna hit on that same level for me. We do also.
Spider-Man games are really good.
They're really good. They're really good.
They're really good.
We also see in this trailer confirmation of people that, again, we already knew from the leaks, but Sabretooth, Mystique, and Omega Red, of all people, are in this game. Omega Red is the craziest one. Sabretooth felt like a given. Mystique, probably a given. Omega Red is like, no way. No one cares about Omega Red. That's neat.
Someone has to use Omega Red. There's also Sentinels.
There are Sentinels. Yeah, that's true.
And Trask. There's the shipping cargo thing said Trask on them. So
yeah, well, when you see Sentinels,
gonna be some sort of Trask Industries Sentinel story.
Yeah. Well,
happening.
It's going to be him. He's stealing the kids and he's juicing them to make oil for the Sentinels.
He's just putting them in the Sentinels, like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh,
Put the kid in the suit.
Makes sense.
But they're still alive in there. They're just like, help, Logan. And then Logan stabs the Sentinel and skewers the kid in the head.
And he's like, oh, shit.
No.
Shouldn't have gotten in the way, bub.
You don't have time to feel remorse when you're full of rage and adrenaline.
True. They've also confirmed that the game is not open world like the Spider-Man games.
Too.
It's linear.
Probably
Which,
for the best.
yeah, I don't know that traversal as Wolverine was going to feel good. There were a lot of
No.
people in the lead up to this being like, oh, but he can like jump and he could like, do wall climbs with his claws. And I'm like, it's just not going to feel the
Sure.
same. It's just not going to be the same. You couldn't throw him
You
his ass in
could.
Wolverine and be like, or sorry, you couldn't just throw Wolverine into like New York and be like, this is
But
the
like,
same, because it wouldn't be.
just imagine how long it takes you to get from one end of Manhattan to the other as Spider-Man.
Right.
Spider-Man goes really fucking
He's
fast.
swinging at like Mach 5,
And,
dude.
and also, Batman in Gotham, where he's got the
Batmobile.
Batmobile, or he zips up real fast and then
He
glides.
can zip zap.
So he can go fast. I don't think Wolverine can go that fast. You could give him a motorcycle, I guess.
You
He
could
could
give him the
he could
motorcycle.
ride around in the motorcycle, but I think if you did open world as this character, you'd have to shrink down much, much, much smaller than what Spider-Man has to play in,
Yeah.
and I don't think anybody's interested in that. So I think it no harm, no foul, making it just a linear story.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's probably a good choice. That'll be coming out September 15th, 2026.
That's
So
cool.
pretty soon, I guess, about 3 months. Some other things we saw. We're not going to cover every single game that was in it because, frankly, I don't think most of them are probably worth talking about, especially for us. If you want to see every single game that was in it, then watch the show.
I did skip forward past a lot of stuff.
There was a lot of dead air here for a little while. The next game, though, was Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. They showed off a couple more characters. Doom, Magneto, Green Goblin, and Carnage are all going to be in the game. It comes out August 6th. Not a whole lot to say about
Hmm.
it, except
Hmm.
they've given everyone like anime designs, except for some reason Magneto. Magneto is just Magneto. Maybe Magneto
Just
is already huge in Japan, and so they were like, that's
you,
fine. He'll just be that.
you can't build on perfection.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's see. They're doing.
Rayman.
There was a Rayman Legends retold. It's a remake of Rayman Legends. It's cute. It comes out October 1st. If you're interested, you know who you are. And you probably saw the bat signal when this game got announced. They've got Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis. This is also a remake of the first, I think, maybe one of the first Tomb Raider games. It looks really good.
I
It very accurately captures the feeling, like the tone of the original games, in that
Yeah.
it looks goofy,
Sure.
but in a fun way. So that is
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
I'm hyped for this one. I'm actually a little excited for Lara Croft.
Well, it comes out February 12th, 2027, so you won't have to wait super long, but it is technically next year.
That's fine.
It is also one of the first games coming at us from the Amazon Game Studios. It's
Right.
being made by Crystal Dynamics, but published and put through Amazon Game Studios.
That was another story to kind of segue off of that, where obviously 007 came out, and I think it's
Right.
doing pretty well.
It's
People
very
like
well.
that.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed what I've played of it. I need to play more. But then Amazon Studios came out and they were like, "We didn't make this one, but we are making the next one." And I was like, "Well, okay."
Yeah. Everyone hated that, and so they have walked that
Yeah,
back a little bit. So we don't know
yeah,
for sure that
yeah,
they're not going to let IOI make the next one. It's
yeah.
sort of in a gray space, which is why I chose to admit it from the story, from the rundown this week. But yeah, basically, it's like when IOI originally got the rights to make that James Bond game, Amazon didn't own James Bond yet, and
Mhm.
now they do. And Jeff Bezos is an asshole allegedly, and they they were like, "Oh, hey, this is doing really good. We're gonna keep making these, but without those guys." And everyone was like, "Why? Like, why? Why would you look at this thing that's doing really well and be like, we're
Why
gonna
would
do
you
it
do that?
different? We don't want to do that one again."
They, people do this kind of shit on purpose. They have to, because there's no way
You
you
have to
can
assume.
just. Let's move on.
it's
Stupid.
it's upsetting.
Stupid.
Another upsetting thing to talk about the Tomb Raider thing again, is people were
Mhm.
looking at this Lara Croft and also saying she wasn't attractive enough because no one is ever
Come
happy.
on,
I looked
man.
at her and I was like, finally one for the Gooners, because I think that she's been like intentionally made to look super fucking hot. Turns out it's still not
She's
enough.
she's chesty, just like Lara Croft is
They must have wanted
in
the
the original.
polygon boobs. And
No, fuck it. They don't. You know what? Don't play it.
these people only want AI girlfriends who are currently naked. Like that's the only thing that's going to make these people happy. And they also can't be the main character. They have to be a side character that the main character has a lot of sex with.
And the main character is them.
The main character is a
The main
white,
character is
blue-eyed, blonde-haired man
No, you scan yourself in,
with a BWC.
but it's like Fortnite. It can't scan Peter Griffin hot, so or fat rather, so it like bulks him up.
Yeah, it spray paints abs onto all these fat chuds.
Yeah, there you go.
Like whatever this 300 ripoff movie was.
Oh, why are we bringing that? We can't be. No, we're not doing that. Just get out of here.
There's a couple other like smaller things and shown off here. We saw The Lost Wild, which a lot of these games that we're going to talk about were already announced, so we already kind of knew they existed. But this is the one that everyone thought was Dino Crisis for a long time, and it's not. It's just a different girl surviving in dinosaur hell.
It caught my attention. I thought
it looks good.
Cool.
Yeah, it does look good. I'm excited for that.
I can see myself playing that.
We got Phantom Blade Zero. A lot of people are really excited for that. I kind of think it looks generic, but that's fine. It's like a samurai sort of or ninja like hack and slash one. Yeah, it's just kind of. We saw a lot of games that looked exactly like this in the show, so it doesn't stand out.
I didn't write any of them down. Those ones.
Dune Awakening. This is already out on PC, but now it's coming to consoles. It is a Dune survival game by way of like Rust or whatever, or Ark, I guess. It's really popular in the PC space, but survival games like generally don't do very well on console because it's just not the community for it. So I don't know how well it'll do on PlayStation or Xbox or wherever else it's going. But it does look good. I think for a survival game, which I don't generally fuck with, I think it does look good. But I will say, of all the of all the fantasy worlds to explore, Iraq is not one of the ones I feel like I need to. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Big desert, and occasionally you come across like a bunker full of nuclear warheads.
Yeah, I just
But they got the worms.
They got the worms. You can worm a worm. Then there was one for Just Me. That's right, Dynasty Warriors 3 Complete Edition remastered has been. I mean, this is already announced, but it's coming out October 1st. They added the guy from Dynasty Warriors Origins, which is I think going to be a contentious choice because I think a lot of people were pretty mixed on Origins because you couldn't play as most of the characters that people wanted to. That's like the whole thing of Dynasty Warriors is you have like 70 different fucking characters you can play as, and they were like, what if you just played as this one guy? And everyone was like, that's not what we came here for. Did you think that the combat was why we came here? Because it's not good. So you hit one button until 5,000 people die. Let's see. Onimusha, Way of the Sword. I think this looks pretty good, although it does have very heavy 360 vibes, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but some people will probably take it as bad things. Comes out September 25th, 2026, but has a demo out now on PlayStation if you're interested in giving it a shot. I've heard some pretty mixed things about the demo, though, so it might not be in a very good state, actually. I don't know if you're an Onimusha enjoyer.
Me? No, I didn't write that one down.
One of the games from the show that I think looks the absolute objective best is Silent Hill Townfall.
This surprised me on account of we just got a Silent Hill.
Silent Hill F, yeah. Well, this has been announced before, and it's obviously made by a different team, but it does look really good. It is launching as a PlayStation and I think PC exclusive, but it will be going other places later. They haven't officially announced that, but they're doing the same like dodging around that question that they always do when it is going other places later. So wherever it's going to end up everywhere, except maybe Switch.
Yeah.
But probably still Switch.
Maybe.
It looks really good. Clearly, the sort of gimmick of this is something to do with like medical malpractice or something, because every monster, Silent Hill, takes monsters out of people's minds and like their own personal fears. This one is clearly something medical related because every single monster has like a big fucking syringe or like big medical scars and shit. Like it's very clear that that is a thing that is going to be a motif through that. So trigger warning for anybody who has an issue with that. But I think it looks really good, and it comes out September 24th, 2026. So not too long to wait on that one either. Then we got a trailer for Stuntman Hollywood. This is sort of a callback to the old Stuntman games. I don't know if it's literally a sequel, but PS2 era, we had some games that were, I think, also just called Stuntman. But this is the gimmick of this is that it's a Hollywood thing, so you're able to drive cars from TV shows and movies. I'm pretty sure that we see the car from Miami Vice, but most notably, there's the car from the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
That's what they did the music sting for, and then I didn't pause to look for anything else. I just was like, okay. Yeah,
there's a Kit from Knight Rider is in it. There's like some trucks that are either from Mad Max or what's the like prison death race movie?
Death Race.
Oh, okay. So Death Race.
Yeah.
So there's some stuff in that. I don't know. It looks interesting. It's bringing back sort of the idea, I guess, of the old Burnout games. So that's kind of cool.
Sure.
Interested in that. The next big game we got was Control Resonant. We've seen this a lot of times. I still am not thrilled about the way this game looks. I feel like it has sacrificed a lot of the energy and aesthetic of Control for becoming an action game. It's also a game where we've replaced a female protagonist with a male protagonist, and no one has brought that up. Remember that for later.
Oh. Oh.
Remember that for later.
Oh.
We'll circle back on that one. Foreshadowing, allegedly.
I wonder what Daniel could mean.
Just throwing that out. And I don't mind them having a new protagonist in this, except that Dylan's like, I don't know, I just don't want to play as him. Like, Jesse's right there, and she's better. I'm not thrilled about it, mostly because of we turned it into an action game instead of a horror game when when we already get thousands of action games every fucking year. But here we go, here's another one. I do think it'll be really good. I love Remedy. They make great games. I think this will be a really good game. I'm just like, it's not what I wanted. That's really my big gripe.
Mm-hmm.
September 24th, 2026. We got a trailer for the first, or maybe second, whatever, the first post-release season of Marathon. It's called Nightfall. The trailer has some like kind of horror vibes. I didn't care about this, and from what I understand, the Marathon community did not either.
I'll be real. As soon as I saw the Bungie logo, I skipped forward to the next thing.
That's fair. Yeah, apparently this is already like because it's June 2nd was when that came out, so it's already been out. People are already not happy with it. Apparently, it doesn't run very well. Apparently, it's not very good. So that's
nice.
Unfortunate for the Marathon community. It's a really good thing that they haven't put all of Bungie's eggs into Marathon.
Mm.
Oh wait,
allegedly.
They did a cool thing here. Where they announced some games coming to their Classics collection, which is part of their PlayStation Plus thing. I'll be honest with you, some of them I don't really need. PsyOps, the Mindgate Conspiracy, don't even really know what that is. Onimusha, Dawn of Dreams, it's like, that's neat, but I think that's already playable other places. The big one here for me is Guitaru Man. That's such a specific game. Uh-huh. So it's cool to get that playable on any level. So I'm happy to see that. That's genuinely really cool. And then we roll into the end of the show, which has, in my opinion, two of the biggest announcements of kind of the weekend, honestly. Yeah. I mean, we'll see what Xbox does on tomorrow as you're listening to this, but 2 days from it as we're recording. The first here being Until Dawn 2. Whoa!
Wow! I didn't know they were doing this, and if we had talked about it, I didn't remember.
It was rumored, but I don't know if we talked about it.
Okay.
There's parts of it. I think it looks really good. I have concerns. It's being worked on by Firesprite because the original team is not allowed to work on it anymore because they've spun off and they're doing all these dark picture games. They've done like 6 of them. And some of them have been pretty good. But this is presumably some degree of a direct sequel to Until Dawn 2, because if you remember when they did the remaster, they added like a stinger at the end or some shit that like apparently leads into this. I don't actually know what it is, but that's what all the people were talking about. I didn't play the remaster of Until Dawn 1. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't either. So I'm not aware of that. I mean, obviously Peter Stormare is in this as well.
Yeah, Peter Stormare is in here. So he's probably going to continue to be a framing device where he'll pop up and be like, "Are you afraid of clowns or spiders?" And then you pick one and then that shows up in the game.
That's cool. I really like the first Until Dawn.
It's really good. It's really good. I do think that people have sort of put that game on a pedestal in a way that it maybe doesn't deserve. Where people seem to hold like all narrative horror games up to the level of Until Dawn now, and I'm like, a lot of them are better than Until Dawn. I understand that we liked Until Dawn, and then we got mad that they like soft canceled the sequel right afterwards, and now we're finally getting it. But I do think putting it on the pedestal is going to make people not like this game as much when it comes out, even though it'll probably be good. I'm sure I will enjoy it a lot, actually. But I think a lot of people are going to be like, well, it's not Until Dawn 1. And I'm like, no, it's Until Dawn 2.
Yeah, that's right. It's a different video game. It's a different video game that came out like 10 years later.
But from a different team.
That's crazy, huh?
Big...
Yeah, it'll be neat. I personally, I'm in an opposite camp where I don't think I can hold this on this like pedestal comparing it to the first one, because again, it's been so long and all those dark picture games have been rolling out where it's just like I've already considered these all like spiritual successors
Right.
to that. The fact that this is more closely tied to the first one because it has Peter Stormare in it. That's the only thing. It's just like,
Yeah.
okay, so it's loosely tied to this other one in a way. Maybe we'll find out. But I don't. Other than that, it's just another one.
Yeah,
Really.
it is just another one. And I will say, I do think it looks better than the most recent two, maybe, of the Dark Pictures games. The directive, what is it, 8010 or whatever it is. The like sci-fi one didn't speak to me. It
The
was very like
space one.
it was
Yeah.
very like The Thing in space, but it just didn't. I don't know. I didn't play it, but it didn't speak to me. And then the oh god, what the fuck was it called? The one that's like kind of Saw, but not really. That one I also like didn't super care for.
I don't remember it. The only one I played was when we played together on Halloween. We played The Quarry.
The Quarry is probably the best one. I think The Quarry is as good as Until Dawn 1. Maybe a little bit better. For me personally.
Yeah, I could see it being up there.
The only other ones I would even put near that is maybe, what's it called? From Ash or whatever. The Ashley Tisdale one.
From Ashley Tisdale.
From Ashley Tisdale. Because so all of these games since Until Dawn 1 have always had celebrity tie-ins. This one has Neil Newbon, who people will know as being the voice actor from the Astarion from Baldur's Gate 3. So everyone's like really into him in the community.
Right.
And
Everyone's got a very healthy relationship.
A very healthy relationship with that particular vampire.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. They did also add new kissing animations where he chokes you and puts you on your knees. Don't worry about it. Allegedly. There's also Janina Gavankar. She's another person who's just kind of in the gaming community, but she is an actress. She's been in whatever that fucking show is where there's vampires but also fairies. That one. Not Vampire Diaries. The other one. True Blood, maybe? One of them.
I don't know.
And then maybe the biggest one is the one that a lot of people are like, is that Zac Efron? No. It is, in fact, Dacker Montgomery from surely everyone will know him best from Dead Man's Wire.
As the Red Ranger from the live action Power Rangers movie.
No, from Dead Man's Wire. He's Billy from Stranger Things. That's what people are gonna know him from.
I don't know why I said live action. All Power Rangers is live action.
There's gotta have been a cartoon at some point, right?
Maybe, but like it's the live action was the wrong way to. I had to rush though to cut you off. So.
and we respect that. Usually it's me cutting you off, so we needed it going the other way. I think it looks really good. We do see a guy in the trailer cut a person in half with a machete. He's for sure not going to be the actual villain of the story. There's going to be some kind of supernatural bullshit going on because that's what these games are. And I'm excited to see what that is. But it'd probably be a while before we see that because it doesn't come out until 2027. So probably Halloween-ish of next year.
It would be so funny if it was just Wendigos again.
It's just Wendigos. It's
just Wendigos in a different setting.
It's on a tropical island. It's just the guys from Scooby-Doo. The live action Scooby-Doo.
Oh, ooh, the zombie island with the cat people.
That would be fine too. Yeah, but I meant specifically for like the weird little dog guys.
You meant Spooky Island.
Yeah.
With the live action Scooby-Doo Power Rangers live action allegedly.
Allegedly. You're just hitting your emotes now. You're ulting.
No, my fucking synapses are misfiring. We need to wrap this up.
And then the biggest one from the state of play, and probably the reason why they decided to put it in movie theaters, which remember they put this fucking thing in movie theaters, was because they've announced a new God of War game that everyone is unanimously thrilled about, called God of War Laufey, where you play as Kratos' presumed dead wife, Deborah Ann Wool, but also Faye.
Hang on. I don't want to say you're burying the lead here, because maybe you mentioned it before. They put this in movie. They put the state of play in cinemas.
We talked about this last week rather.
But we did.
Yeah. They partnered.
What was my reaction to it?
I don't know. You were scratching your balls at the time, probably.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, that's why everyone thought that this was going to be such a huge state of play. That's why we were like, oh, it's going to be like a proper showcase instead of just what a normal state of play is, which is not even really worth watching. Was because they partnered with, I think, specifically Alamo Drafthouse to put this in theaters. People bought tickets to watch this bitch. And I'll be honest with you, I think it's a good show. Spoilers, I guess, if we were going to, sort of review the show at the end or whatever. But I think the show's good. Not great, but good. But if I had paid money to watch it, I'd be fucking livid.
I need to know how much the tickets were, because this was an hour-long show. You
can look that up while I lead into God of War Laufey.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
First of all, I want to say that in the last week's episode, I said they'll probably just just show a stinger, and then because we talked about literally this exact game being rumored, and I said they'll probably just show a stinger, and it won't be out for a couple of years, and it'll have the God of War theme, but sung by a lady, and I nailed one part of that, which is they did lead with the God of War thing, but sung by a lady. But they showed 20 minutes of quote unquote gameplay, 15 minutes of which was cutscene, and it is coming out next year, apparently pretty early next year, which is surprising as fuck. The rumor is it's supposed to be like Q1 of 2027, which if true is awesome. But I don't know if I believe that. They didn't announce that. They just said 2027. So. But yes, as I said earlier, the protagonist of this is not Kratos. It is in fact his second wife, his second dead wife, Laufey, from the Norse section of the God of War games. Who
This one died less terribly though.
We don't actually know that. He didn't kill her. But I believe that the lore is that she was killed in combat. So she did still get stabbed.
She died in a manner of which that he could still give her a funeral.
Right, yeah.
Which is better than the last one.
Where he cut her in half and then let her burn in a building. And also a child. His daughter. God of War is a fun video game series.
Okay, okay, hold up.
Yeah.
It says here, Alamo Drafthouse says free fan event.
Okay.
So therefore, fine.
Okay.
We're okay.
But what does gas cost right now? Think about that.
Plus, there are no Alamo Draft Houses near us, too. Not that I would have gone.
No,
if you would have gone, you would have had to fucking find one.
Yeah.
Because they're all closing.
Do you want to lead with the controversy or end with the controversy? We do have to talk about that. People being super pissed about this.
The alleged controversy.
I do have some issues with the protagonist being Faye, but none of them are at all the same as the people online who hate it because she's a lady. I think it's a crazy... okay, let me lead by just saying, I think this game looks great, and I'm very excited to play it. I think it's going to be... Mm-hmm. I'm genuinely more interested to play this than I would have been in a third game where you play as Kratos. And 1,000% more than I would have been if this was a different spin-off game where you play as Atreus. So I fucking hate that kid, and I wish he was dead. So, for me... this I'm happy. Narratively, there's some issues with it. Namely, she's dead. So the plot of the first game is that she gets fridged in the first like 2 seconds of the video game.
That's true.
And then you spend the whole game bonding with your son over how
that you hate.
That I hate.
The son the son that Kratos does not want at the beginning of the game.
Over like the shared trauma of losing this woman, losing his this mother and wife. But and I feel like it does cheapen it a little bit to be like, your mother's in a better place and she's just air comboing robots in hell. Like narratively, sure. That's weird. I do think I get the impetus to do it. I wish it was a prequel instead, where we're figuring out what her actual backstory was, because apparently she did a bunch of shit like off screen before the first of the reboot whatever God of War games. But I am like, okay, if you wanted an interesting woman protagonist in the God of War series, Freya is right there and like one letter different from Faye. And she's objectively a better character. Like I have seen people coming out in defense of the Laufey being the playable character of this game, being like, but she's so important to the game. No, she's not. She gets fridged in the first 2 seconds, and then they talk a lot about how cool she was in hindsight. She is as important to the story of God of War as Lily Potter is to the story of Harry Potter.
But her love saved him, Daniel.
Oh, but he's got her eyes, Skyler.
Every person who went to school with her that wanted to fuck her makes sure to tell him that.
Right. So, yeah, it's a weird choice. This is, to me, as weird of a choice as doing the Clayface movie. But in both instances, I'm like, but the product's going to be really good. So I don't actually care. But the idea is fucking crazy. Like, to pull that, to be like, we're going to play as this character post her death in a different, like, combined hell or, like, afterlife where gods go when they die. which is also
Mm.
already kind of weird because like Kratos has died multiple times and he just went to normal Greek hell and then fought his way out. So there is
Well,
precedent of
Kratos,
people going to hell and then fighting their way out, which is what's going to happen here.
because Kratos sucks. That's
He
why
does
he
suck.
went
He
to
does
hell.
suck. Um, so it's weird. It's the choices are fucking crazy, and I do think it does sort of cheapen the plot of the other two God of War games. But I also
Well,
didn't love the plot of those games, so I don't really give a shit.
that's true. She could fight her way to being in Valhalla by the end, and then she is just gone.
It's there's some things that they're gonna need to explain in it because so in the
Yeah,
first game, I don't remember if you played it or not, but there's a bit where
I played the first one. Yeah.
Kratos like reaches into the light of Alfheim, which is supposed to be the afterlife that she went to, and he says he saw her and spoke to her. Basically, she ain't fucking there,
I'm gonna
so she's
be
gonna have to get there.
gonna be real. I don't remember that bit at all.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. Again, it wasn't a great plot in that first game, so eh.
I'm right there on the same page with you where wouldn't I can't imagine I would want a third Kratos in the Norse mythology
No, God no.
installment. I want him to move on to another mythology. I think that would be cool. But then if you look at it, we're like, well, there's the Greek trilogy, and then there's a Norse trilogy. You can make a trilogy by having a different character, and I think I have no connection to the Laufey character.
You couldn't possibly. She
Mostly
doesn't show up in the
because
video game.
yeah, there you go. But you know who I do like is I like Deborah Ann Wool, so that's cool for her that
For
she's in
sure.
this.
For sure. If I was the actress who plays Freya, though, I would feel very overlooked. Here's some other before we get into the like actual controversy, because I do feel like we need to talk about it. Here's a couple of other things we saw.
Air quotes controversy.
Controversy, the backlash of chuds online. Here's a
We'll let
couple.
you guess.
I wonder what people could have had a problem with. But here's some other things that we see in this trailer. So because it is an afterlife where gods from all different pantheons go, we see two gods. We see Sekhmet, who is she is labeled as the Egyptian god of war. She's sort of that, but not really. Sekhmet is sort of the bad aspect of Bast, who most people probably best know because of Black Panther. She's just
No, no. Bosk was a bounty hunter in Star Wars.
close, so close. Bast, so close, but
Allegedly.
allegedly, it's one of those situations where like the mythology is kind of fucked because hieroglyphics are hard to read and it's white people trying to do it.
Mhm.
So there's these two different characters, Boston Sekhmet, and people are like they're probably the same character, but they might be different character or they might be different aspects of the same character. It could be like Beyonce and Sasha Fierce, where they're the same person, but sometimes she kills people. So who knows?
Hold on. No, you know what? I'm not biting on that. We gotta wrap it up.
Okay. The technically literal god of war in Egyptian mythology is called Montu, and it's a bird-headed guy. Sekhmet is more like she is as much god of war as like Athena is in Greek mythology, where it's like she is, but not like it's not her thing. She just also does that. You know what I mean? But like clearly we wanted a lady antagonist for our lady protagonist, which I think is totally fine and makes sense. So I don't so fuck it, go with it. We also see a Mongolian god of war named Begtsi, not to be confused with Banksy, the guy who does art. Uh, the only change that I've noticed that they've done for that character is that they made him not fat. He seems to be traditionally sort of a pot-bellied guy, and in this case, they've made him just kind of a ogre with abs, which I'm also
No,
fine with.
let our dudes be fat. That's what I say.
Let our dudes be fat. Well, okay, but Thor in Ragnarok was very
They
fat,
let
so we just had
they
that.
let Thor be
Yeah.
let Thor be fat.
We've just had
Yeah.
that. Here's truly my biggest issue with the game and the part where I went, oh, because the game was looking really good for a while there. This is the part that I think is going to be contentious for me personally. Her supporting cast is a cube, a gelatinous D&D cube named Frank, and
Yeah.
some ribbons named Rue, which I think is incredibly stupid. And unfortunately, I'm sure that those characters are going to be very important to the plot to the point where I do think that Frank is going to end up being some kind of MacGuffin or something. So there's going to be no getting around it, and I hope that they don't make it as stupid as my immediate reaction to seeing a cube voiced by Jack Quaid is.
Yeah, I saw the report about Frank before I actually watched the state of play.
Yeah.
And It's spelled, yeah, Franquue.
It's
And
Franquet.
I looked right at it and I was like, this dude's name is Frank. And it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's him being a character in it. I was already like, that's kind of dumb. And then the gameplay that we see immediately after his introduction is he's fighting. He's like doing air combos with her, and I'm like, that's even stupider. In a way that I'm
You
like,
know,
it's like verging on could be cool in a funny way, but I know that the plot's going to be so fucking deadly serious that also having this fucking cube over there is going to be like really dissonant. So we'll see how that works out. I do know that the writers over at Santa Monica, a lot of people really like them. I have not cared for the previous two God of War games. So because of the plot, I think the gameplay of them is fine. But the plot has had, for me personally, a lot of holes, and we'll see. We'll see. Maybe going a little bit goofier will be better for them because it was a lot of the like more serious moments that I feel like they fucked up. So we'll see. We'll see.
yeah. Yeah. I like Jack Quaid. Here's hoping they don't make some sort of Jar Jar Binks out of him.
Did you see the mocap pictures?
They had to motion. He's a cube. What do you mean a motion?
So there's back, they did like a here's the cast, and it's the guy, it's him, it's Deborah Ann Woll, and it's the lady who does the voice of the Ribbons. Not to be confused with the sword, because she thinks it's the sword at first, and she's like, clearly I'm the Ribbons. Because when you're talking to a cube, anything's possible. Which, and I'll just throw this out there, I think the fact that she's the Ribbons does mean that we will be putting her on different weapons. That feels obvious to me.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
but the mocap shit that's been shown her off is Deborah Ann Woll doing acting as a human being,
Yeah,
and then Jack
she
Quaid
would.
standing there with a PVC square around him.
No.
And then the girl who's playing Rue holding up a thing in front of her mouth that has like 3 little dangly bits, and then they just like sway back and forth. But she's like just walking around next to Deborah Ann Woll because she's attached to a sword that she's holding. Why does she need to be there? She's Ribbons. What information are you getting from the mocap of the fucking Ribbons?
Just wants to be in the room, I guess. Yeah, I don't.
I get it from like an acting perspective of like it's better to have the other voice actor in the room, so that's totally makes sense. Why she gotta fucking walk around with this stupid dangly thing?
I'm looking at Jack Quaid as the cube right now.
It's very funny. It's so far my favorite thing about this announcement.
They had to put a little cap on his head. They didn't need to
They
do
didn't
that.
need to. They're not capturing his face. They're not. They're using it for spacing, if anything.
And
It's
the cube
so funny.
isn't like firm. It like wiggles.
Well, he's a cube. I mean, he's made of Jello.
Yeah.
He's a Jello shot.
Yeah, he's a jelly.
He does call himself a cosmic cube, which immediately makes me think of the Tesseract, which I don't think is a real thing in Norse mythology, but maybe that's what we're doing. Even because it was associated with Norse mythology in Marvel, which is also where and so much of the Norse mythology that they that they used for God of War has been the Marvel version already.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't put it past them. That's all I'm saying.
Sure. Have you ever read real Norse mythology? It's all about like a giant, and someone fell out of its sweaty armpit and then fucked the other armpit to make another giant who became a mountain. I don't know. You can't make a video game out of that.
I think that may have literally happened, but in Greek mythology, actually.
No, that happened in Norse. I read it. I remember.
Norse mythology. Let's see. The world was made because there was a big ice cube, and then a cow licked it until it melted, and then that water became the earth. And then a lot happened, and then Loki fucked a horse.
People are really mad because Laufey's a girl and you have to play as a girl. Because girls have cuties.
People are mad because they have replaced the hot buff white dude. Don't tell him it's voiced by a black guy from the previous games with his second wife. And I will always say second wife because I don't think we should forget that he murdered the first one. I think that is important information.
And he's still technically wearing her on his skin.
Her ashes are attached to his skin permanently by Greek curse. So,
yep.
She is more involved in the game than Faye in some ways. She's in every shot.
If you think about it, yeah.
So people are really pissed about this, and I think that that's ridiculous. They're mad because literally just because it's a woman. To the point where people have used AI to redo the cover art of the game that says God of War Laufey to say God of War Laundry, and then they've turned Jack Quaid's cube character into a laundry machine. Um, because women shouldn't be doing air combos; they should be doing laundry. I guess is the joke.
I mean,
Fuck me.
at at its at its core, I'm not going to defend any of these people because I think they're just it's worthless to spend any time. Fuck, you're
Fuck
an
'em.
idiot
Fuck 'em
if
and
you're
fuck 'em
thinking
up.
that.
Yeah.
I can understand going before all that being like, oh, this is a God of War game and I'm not playing as Kratos. That's kind of lame. I can see people thinking that. I don't think that
It's a
because
spin-off. We've had like
I'm
8 Kratos
I'm
games.
I'm not I'm not the world's biggest fan of these God of War games. I like the Greek trilogy more, and I didn't play any of the fucking
Oh, the like
DS
PSP
or
ones.
PS
Yeah.
Vita ones. I don't fucking touch any of that, so I don't know. But I did play the original trilogy, and I like those quite a bit. And then I played God of War 4, the first one in Norse. Um, I haven't played Ragnarok. I have it. I haven't played it.
It's pretty good. Like, I talk shit about the plot because it has some holes that I think should have been addressed in different ways, but it is a good game. Very solid, like
I
8 out of 10 at least.
I
So,
thought the first one was too long.
yeah, I mean maybe. I didn't think it was that long, but it does
That's
kind of drag in the middle there. So I
that's my
agree.
reaction. I do. I think it does drag.
I think it just doesn't use its time well, and I think the villain of the first one's really really bad. I think Baldur sucks ass. I think he's just not interesting, personally. Um,
But um,
but
but I
yeah,
have I have no problem with Deborah Ann Woll
I'm
being a lead in a God of War video game at all.
genuinely I'm more interested in playing as her as I would have been as playing as Kratos, which I think is a
Why?
thing that we both think.
How is
So
this? Yeah, how is it not like a breath of fresh air into the the series, the saga? We
the
need
only
someone that's not just Kratos right now. Just
the
give us
only
a
thing I
break from
could
that dude.
see like as an argument for that is that these games take so fucking long to come out that the last one came out like 5 years ago. So it's like, the time between is such that if you were a huge Kratos fan, which whatever man,
Well,
then
they're making a show for you.
yeah,
Good
you got a
news.
show and like 8 games, so you're fed, my man. Um I could understand being like, I could go for another Kratos story by now because it has been so long, but at the same time, I'm like, let him do something else. I have seen the complaint that they've been doing this a lot with PlayStation games. In particular, PlayStation has been making a lot of, not just making a lot of games with women in it, but taking a lot of games and then having their sequel be a female protagonist. And I think people are really mad about that. I There are some where I think it's a step down and some where I think it's a step up. I think it's kind of a wash for me personally.
It, isn't that
Um,
just indicative of the times more than like, oh, PlayStation's trying to do something? And it's just
well,
like,
yeah,
well,
but the internet.
it's been a male dominated fucking field
Yeah,
forever of being white action hero on cover of video game. So
right,
now that people are more open minded, not you that are mad about this, clearly,
right,
but a lot of other people are more open minded and it's like, well, then we can put this girl in and we
yeah.
can have this
I
actress play this part.
I do agree to some extent that it is weird how consistently it's happening it with PlayStation, but I'm also like, in most cases, I like the character better. So I don't fucking, you know what I mean? Like I do, like I don't like Kratos, or him being replaced by Laufey. I think is going to end up being a positive.
Hmm.
Joel to Ellie was kind of a wash for me. I wish they hadn't killed Joel. Spoiler, but like, it kind of a
Hmm.
wash. I liked both those characters a lot, so it's fine. In Ghost of Tsushima to Ghost of Yote, I do think that was a little bit of a step down, but I don't really care. So whatever.
Hmm.
People are really mad about the bald lady who is going to be the main character of Naughty Dog's next game, Intergalactic, and they're going to be fucking livid because all the rumors of the presumed next Naughty Dog Uncharted game is that you're going to play as his daughter. So people are going to be fucking livid when that happens because I feel like Nathan Drake is like the second poster boy after Kratos of PlayStation. So people are going to be really livid about that one. But I guess that's kind of already happened because there was the Lost Legacy DLC where you played as was it oh fuck, what are those characters' names? Claudia Black and the other one, Claudia Black and Laura
Oh,
Bailey.
yeah. Yes.
whoever their character names are. I don't remember. Sorry. Um, so I agree that it's weird, like how much that's been happening.
Chloe.
Chloe, yeah,
One of them names is Chloe,
and
and the other
Nadine,
one's
Chloe
name
and
I
Nadine,
yeah, sure, yes.
yeah. So I agree. It's a little weird how often that's been happening, but who cares? Also, because like with the exception of maybe Joel, who did get murdered, like all of the other people's stories were done. Their stories got told. Jin's story in Ghost of Tsushima, the whole story, like what's he gonna do at that point? At the end of that game, I don't know if you played that game. At the end of that game, all of his shit's sorted out. He doesn't need a second story. He's done. Cody Rhodes has finished the story. Kratos,
Hmm.
sure, he's gonna have and he's gonna do more shit later. Kratos kinda is done. Frankly, I don't know that he's had a lot worthwhile to do in his previous two games. A lot of the previous two games has been him just experiencing other people's character growth through Atreus or Freya or these other characters. Like he hasn't had a lot to do because he's already had 7 fucking games to figure his shit out.
Hmm.
So like, fuck man, like they're gonna keep using the IP because it sells copies and people know it. But like we've told these characters stories, so we're gonna move on to the other characters. Like it just I don't know, man. Like I know that they would have been okay if it was a different white man. If it was fucking God of War Thor, they would have been fine. So I don't even know why I'm making this argument of like, well, these characters are going to be interesting because they don't fucking care. They just do care that it's not a big buff white dude with a huge dick. That's all that they need.
Mm.
That's all they really want.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. All we can do is say, if you're mad because it's a woman, you're stupid. If you're mad because you really, really, really wanted to play as Kratos again, that's less stupid. But again, it's like there's been a lot, so I think you can
There's
calm
gonna be
down
a
for
lot,
this
and
one.
there's a lot of rumors of the Greek trilogy getting remade. So like you're gonna get more Kratos stuff probably relatively soon. A Kratos game technically just came out. It was bad. It was that little side scroller one that's like Sons of Sparta or whatever that was. But like
Sure,
that's
I wouldn't
Kratos.
mind that. Yeah,
You
it
got
is, but I
you
wouldn't
just
mind
got one.
that. I
But
I think remaking the Greek trilogy would go really fucking hard right now.
oh for sure, 100%. Oh my god, it'd be so good. Um,
Yeah.
I but I will. Here's my thing. Here, hey Chuds, listen up. This next sentence is for you. I will level one insult at Deborah Anwell. Uh,
Ah!
Terrible taste in men. Kratos and the Punisher. What are we doing?
Oh, she's with Matt Murdock. She's not with the Punisher. She's never even. I don't remember if they ever kissed, but I'm gonna say I don't think they did.
The romance was there. It existed.
It
We
was.
saw it. There were
It,
sparks.
it was. There may have been a spark, but it was not acted upon. She is with Daredevil, and that is a good choice. That's a good man.
It's better than Punisher, but he's got some fucking issues. The
He's
man's not
got
great.
hang-ups. He's got hang-ups. He's got laundry.
He's
All right. He's
he's
got smelly laundry.
gonna go to jail.
Yeah, he's in. I think he's in jail.
I was gonna like light spoiler it, but yeah, no, he's in jail.
He's in jail.
Oh, another thing that happened in the trailer that I did want to throw out is at one point she does do a double jump, so there will be platforming, and I'm not gonna enjoy it. It's not gonna be the thing I like about that game, probably.
Whoa.
But to end on a positive note for the game, uh I do think the concept is super fucking cool. I think the idea of this like graveyard of all this like mixed pantheon graveyard is such a fucking cool idea. There's already people like tearing apart the cover art, which there's allegations that it may have been made by AI, and if that's true,
Oh,
it can get fucked.
allegedly.
But
Uh-oh.
but if not, anyway, either way, people have been tearing it apart, trying to figure out like, oh, what kind of cultures can we see in the like ruins in the background? And there's some interesting shit. There's clearly Greek shit. I think it is a fucking lock that you're gonna run into Athena at some point. I feel like she would be such a great foil for Faye.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably gonna run into Thor because he's spoilers, I guess, for the second one. He's dead. And canonically, they had a huge fight that we didn't get to see that I would like to see run back. So we can do that one. And then people have seen like European style castles, and so people are like, are they going to bring in like Arthurian legend? Does that count?
Oh.
There's like a floating island that has a bunch of shit going on. There's a lot of people are theory crafting left, right, and center about this shit in a way that we would not be getting if this was just a third fucking Norse Kratos game. So I think
That's
that
true.
immediately off rip on that, this is a way better idea than just doing another one of those.
The only thing to be afraid of is, as I've said, I would like to see Kratos, if we're going to continue with Kratos, move on to a different mythology. So as long as they don't get overexcited and show gods here now, that's just like, well, that's just a god that he can't fight later.
Yeah, yeah, I guess that is true to some level, but I don't. All these guys would already be dead technically, right? So worst case scenario, they're gonna escape hell here and then go back to their pantheons. So maybe that,
Oh, like that scene in Ghostbusters.
like that scene in Ghostbusters, your favorite movies.
Hmm.
Okay, let's speed run through Summer Game Fest because there's not basically fucking anything to talk about in Summer Game Fest. There was a couple of cool things. We'll talk about them, but
Yep.
not a ton.
The
Despite
thing
how it
I'm
was like 5 fucking hours long, it felt like.
the thing I'm most excited for, we can just speed through anyways because we've already talked about it at length. We've talked about the original on our show,
Got a whole
Reset
yeah.
Replay,
Yeah.
and
it was
we
the first
both asked
announcement.
for it.
Yeah,
There it is, and they wrapped it up first thing. So slam dunk, let's go.
Turn the thing off. First announcement. Where they're doing Resident Evil Code Veronica remake. It's just called Resident Evil Veronica, which I don't know.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, I don't know that matters. People are like, what does this mean? What does that change? There's clearly
Doesn't
some
change anything.
changes because there's this fucking French woman in the beginning who I do not seem to remember, unless I'm dumb as
No,
shit and have forgotten
I
that.
I think what they did was they were like, so you know the most fucking awesome thing ever, where
Oh, right.
Claire's running through the building and all the machine guns are going off, and she has to run from 1,000 dudes, and she gets caught because the helicopter. They're like, we need to do something different because we can't do that.
That's too cool. Instead, we'll have her get chloroformed by Hunk.
Hey, but people will pop because Hunk is there.
Yeah, I guess that's
Not
true.
dead yet, allegedly.
Not dead yet, allegedly. Although, well, he's not even dead. If that is Hunk, he's not even dead because if you go back, he's not there anymore.
That's true.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Hunk spin-off game win.
No, that happened. We don't talk about that.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Anyway, looks really good. We don't see like a ton of actual shit. It's a lot of like if you know you know type shit. Like they show the dragonfly getting torn apart by ants. You see like 1 second of the blonde guy whose name I don't remember. Alfred, maybe.
Lord Alfred Hayes.
Lord Alfred Hayes, who allegedly might have done some things he shouldn't have done to Roddy Piper. Oops. But it looks really good. I am very curious to see how they're going to handle the plot line of the guy like code switching into his sister.
Yeah.
Because it's not
tastefully, one would assume.
It's not played super well in the original. It does feel a little bit creepy, like a little very definitely incestuous, but like they don't do it in a great way. Cuz he's not technically trans. He's got like split personality disorder.
He's Norman Bates.
Yeah.
He's Norman Bates pretending to be his own mother, but it's his sister. Yeah. So I think if they can easily play into something there. That's
but
he's taken on the split personality, but the more clear, concise, and not transphobic. Not that the original was inherently transphobic. It wasn't transphobic because
it wasn't trans. So
yeah, exactly. But you just need to be clear about what we're doing, or otherwise people will read it wrong.
Right. Well, and people are gonna read it wrong regardless. Like that is one thing that I do have some level of concern is if they do it at all, which they should, because that's the plot of the fucking video game. People are gonna be like, the game went woke, they made the villain trans, and it's like, well, the game came out in the year 2000, so it's been 26. You've had 26 years to come to terms with this shit.
Buddy, you're playing as a girl.
We
were woke from the start.
You're playing as a girl. I can't fucking wait to see Steve in this shit. I can't wait for my boy Steve.
Oh my god. They need to run back Steve is Suffering. They need to run it back.
I need Steve is Suffering, and I need Father. The two fucking like best moments. We need them. We need them. I use that gif of Steve is Suffering a lot.
I'm incredibly hype.
I'm very excited. I think one of the things we even said in our review, which go watch it if you haven't, is very much like. This is already pretty good on the like X redo, the Code Veronica X.
Yeah,
a remake would go really hard, and
oh my god,
here it is. We're gonna find out in 2027 if they nailed it, and I think they probably will because they've done really well with the other ones. I didn't play 2 or 3 remake, but I hear they've done really well with those 2.
2 remake is goated. 3 remake I enjoy. A lot of people hate that one for. I think hate's very strong. I still like it.
Dislike, yeah, maybe not hate. And then, we're going to kind of blow through a lot of the rest of this because there's only one other thing that maybe even we'll have a long conversation about. They did announce a new Cuphead, but they announced it
Yes.
without even giving a title for it because it is that far away. So
Yeah.
they were like, we're doing a new Cuphead. I do wonder if it being announced via Puppet is a thing that's being like, we're doing a different art style and it's puppets. That would be neat.
They did specifically say hand animated, hand drawn, I
They didn't
think.
say hand drawn. They did say hand animated, which
Hand
a puppet
animated.
would be.
Yeah, I guess so.
So,
That's
um,
it would take less time to make that probably.
that's true. Maybe that's why they feel so strong about announcing it so early.
Yeah.
But they were like, but while you wait, we did make a tiny itty bitty little spin off thing called Mighty Cuphead Adventure, which is it seems like it's the first Cuphead game sort of reimagined as like an Atari or an NES game, like an old style
Yeah.
video game. And I think that's very cool. And that comes out, I think, holiday of this year or early next year. I didn't write
Especially
that down. I'm not sure if it is.
imagine if they make like the difficulty curve easier for people who couldn't fucking play the first one.
Right. Yeah.
And then it's just like, okay, so here's the original Cuphead for, the people who
For the homies in the
want to
back.
put their balls in a vice.
Yeah.
And then here's a Cuphead, a baby Cuphead, but it's if you want to just go through and enjoy these character designs and music in a different art style, then here you go.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but we'll see. Maybe it's even
It's
fucking harder.
gonna be even harder. Then we rolled into Alien Isolation 2. I
That's
quite liked
cool.
the first Alien Isolation. I think it is pretty good. It's not
Yeah.
my favorite horror game, and I do think at the time I played it, it was not. It was kind of broken a little bit, but it is good. I'm
Right.
excited about it. This one has two interesting things about it, which is that the voiceover at the beginning is in fully Japanese, which implies
That's true.
that maybe it's a Japanese cast. I don't know, but I'm excited to see what that means. We honestly have not gotten a ton of information about this, and it seems like there's like there's some stretch of it that's just fully outdoors, like in a fucking forest, based on that trailer,
Yeah.
which is not
Crash landing.
traditionally the space that I would expect to see a xenomorph like monster is hunting you type horror thing. But I'm interested to see what they do with it. Could be cool.
Yeah. I think it'll be neat.
I think it'll be good. Here's another one just for me. In the same way as the the Dynasty Warriors remake, they announced Guild Wars 3, baby.
That's right. I did write that down just for you. But
Brother,
that mean
I'm
you're
eating.
gonna skip over the resurrection of Tupac Shakur?
Okay, let me explain.
I
I
was watching the show. Hang on. I was watching the show, and I rewound to I came in late, rewound to the beginning, saw
yeah.
Code Veronica, popped real hard. Awesome. I get a message from a friend, Christian. We've talked about Christian. He
Why did he
messages
not
me,
message me? He knows I love
and
Tupac.
he says, "What the
The
hell?"
fuck, yeah.
And
Did you wait? I need to cut in here. Did you already know that Snoop Dogg was in the game?
no,
Okay, go on.
no. And so I messaged back and I'm like, I know, I saw it. Like, Code Veronica, how cool. Redfield stocks are going to be higher than ever. And he said, no, not that. Keep watching. And then Tupac walks out
Well, hold
in the
on.
video game.
Yeah.
What fucking game what was it called?
It's a Yakuza game called Stranger Than Heaven. It's a spin-off
That's
title.
right.
They do a lot of spin-offs.
Yes.
And it looks really good. The Tupac inclusion is crazy and makes me feel a sort of way about it. But to be fair, Snoop Dogg being in it already made me feel a kind of way about it because he has
It
been doing some weird shit politically lately that I don't feel great about.
it made
So
Jeff Keighley feel a certain sort of way out of it because he didn't know what to say.
he
He
doesn't.
said, okay, Tupac, wow.
Jeff Keighley is the fucking whitest white man that has ever. He is whiter than driven fucking snow. He is the.
So are you implying that someone had to hand him a card that said that was Tupac?
I think had no one coached him beforehand, he would have said 2-pack shaker.
Which he had.
He is mayonnaise on Wonder Bread. That man. And he was not comfortable. He could not be further from the culture.
Mm-hmm.
But here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Here's why I skipped it in my notes. I also didn't get to watch it live because I was at work.
Mm-hmm.
And even more specifically, I was driving home from work because
Mm-hmm.
it went quite long. I was watching it on the official stream from the Game Awards YouTube channel, which is Jeff Keighley's YouTube
Oh,
channel where they do it.
yes.
In that one, you could not rewind to the beginning. You could only rewind to the middle of some fucking Gundam looking mech game that I didn't even write down because it looked like shit. To the middle of that trailer. So I had to look through a Wario 64 tweet list like a couple minutes before we started about what the other things were, and then look up the Code Veronica trailer on my own after the fact.
Damn.
So I have some of the other ones because I didn't know what order they were in down at the bottom, which is so I wasn't planning on skipping the Ghost of Tupac Shaker. I just didn't know where the fuck it was.
Okay. Just checking.
No.
Just
Because it's crazy.
Yeah,
Did you see? Because this game, you would think, okay, it's a Yakuza spinoff title. They're putting in these, these classic rappers. They're putting in Tupac. They're putting in fucking, they're putting in Snoop. So it must take place in like, America. No. It takes place in like World War One era Japan. And for some reason, Snoop Dogg's there with a whole fucking Fu Manchu ass beard. I don't know what the fuck Tupac's doing.
What I'm gonna do?
I couldn't.
How does he play into this?
I don't know. It blows me away. It makes me very excited for the game in a way where it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna play it, but the fucking discourse is gonna be golden. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I mean it's the typical. Right now, I don't feel any different than how I would for if you resurrected any dead person. Like, well, they didn't sign off on this, so maybe they did it though. So here we are. We live in time. This is the second time in our lifetime that Tupac has come back from the dead.
He's not a hologram this time, so that's
he's not a hologram. He's still in a digital realm.
He's learning,
but he's not a hologram.
He's becoming more powerful.
Now he's an AI driven Tupac.
Oh my god.
We're going to have. Do you remember that little like service thing in Japan? I think it was just because they canceled it and that guy lost his wife. But you could have like a little AI anime girl wife.
Yeah, sure.
And this married him, and then they canceled her, and then she died. This guy was very sad.
I mean, they killed his wife. That's crazy.
You're gonna have a little like hologram Tupac in a jar that sits on your desk and
dances.
And says how much he hates Biggie Smalls, and ironically, maybe Snoop Dogg a little bit.
Maybe, yeah. I think it was Tupac's estate that like approved this, obviously. But yeah, Snoop Dogg was like, I'm working really close with the estate, so like it does feel like he kind of was part of the negotiations, but we don't know that, so I can't allegedly. But to get back to the Guild Wars 3 of it all, so I went heavy on Guild Wars 1 and not so heavy on Guild Wars 2, even though Guild Wars 2 is still really good. I just didn't have time for MMO in my life at that time. But Guild Wars 1 was that's like a multi-thousand-hour game for little baby Daniel. So this is very exciting to me. I will say the trailer didn't, other than having the words Guild Wars 3 on it, didn't do a ton for me. I think it doesn't have a lot of the same visual flair and like aesthetic that 1 and 2 had. So I'm hoping that the next time we see it, it does. Because I do think there was some amount of this where they were like, we don't want people to be able to guess that it's Guild Wars. Which I don't feel like Guild Wars is big enough to like justify that. But, a lot of people do that in their trailers. In their introductory trailers. So I'm hoping that, we see something that gives me more of like the vibe and the aesthetic that I want from a Guild Wars 3. And if they do that, then I will jump in on Guild Wars 3. I have actually really been wanting to play an MMO lately. So if this one comes out and is good, I will jump in heavy on it. So okay. I'm hoping. It's announced only for PC and PS5 right now. But there's heavy implications that it will be trying to get on Switch and Xbox as soon as possible. So
probably want to always play an MMO on the computer though, right?
I'm going to be playing it on my computer regardless. So it really doesn't make a difference for me personally. Yeah. I don't like PC gaming. MMOs and RTSs I'm going to always play on a PC. So They announced a new Virtua Fighter, but it doesn't look like it's a fighting game. It looks like it's more of a brawler with a very heavy story, and all the faces look weird. So that's something. Then here's one just for you: Saw Genesis.
All right, let me talk about how weird this is.
Yeah,
This is a Saw game, so it's like 3v1 is what I read. Because I only just kind of like glimpsed over the trailer and then I read up on it. It's 3v1 multiplayer where like I guess one person has the other three in the traps that they have to like work to get out of it. I don't know what the one does at that point.
did you? Which side's the Nazis?
See, I don't know because yeah, this is set a century before Jigsaw was doing his thing. John Kramer. It's like a century before in World War One, and this dude was doing a whole. You have to suffer through the trenches to know how to be. I'm gonna put you in a saw trap.
Sure.
As far as an actual game goes, I don't know. I'm not into this. I don't think. I would have to see more in depth because I've got one or two people. I got a brar who will who would like to play this with me probably.
Yeah.
But like storyline wise, like that it's interestingly strange, and I like that they got Tobin Bell back to voice John, who is not in the game, I guess, because it's 100 years before him. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Not 100 years before him, because he's Tobin Bell's quite old,
very old. Yeah, he definitely fought in World War. He fought in the Crusades.
And he was old in like 2004.
Yeah.
So he would have been but you know what this is weird.
Yeah.
This is weird, but I'll be keeping my eye on it because
Sure.
I'm a freak that likes Saw.
Then we got a trailer for Star Wars Zero Company. This is the XCOM Tactics game, but it's Star Wars. It still looks good. I feel like this didn't tell us anything new except that now that Anakin is in it. So Anakin Skywalker, which does nothing for me personally, because some of pretty much the biggest draw for me was like, oh, you can just like make your own little Star Wars aliens. So having like a known named character in it is like, yeah, all right, man, like cool, like I guess we had to have at least one, but
maybe that's the thing. Remember how in XCOM, that I will be drawing my experience from because that's
your
one of these that I played.
Yeah, that's your tactics game. That's your guy.
You would go on a mission. It says for this mission you get a sniper, whatever. And he's already like a captain. So maybe you go on missions and you recruit Jedi. Like that's how you get a Jedi person, and it's just
Well, it's
just like a pre-named person, and everyone else you just make from scratch.
It does seem like there are some other characters in it that are just part of the team already, because there is that one other Jedi character who's got like the bug alien face thing going on from the trailer. And I'm sure you can get a ton of other ones, because it did look like there was like, here's a couple of very clearly like designed characters, and then there's one bit where it just flashes through a bunch of other characters, and a lot of them just feel like generic, like we made some guys. You know what I mean? So
every single character will be a Mandalorian. I will make sure
somebody will do the all Mandalorian run, and that's valid and good for them. I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be pretty good. I love tactics games, and I like Star Wars, and I think it's a combination that makes sense. So should be cool. But I was already excited for it. It comes out August 26th. So
this is neat. I like it.
Then we got The Blood of Dawnwalker. This is a really good-looking vampire RPG / horror game. I didn't look it up, but I'm like 90% sure that main character is Troy Baker, which would make sense because I feel like somewhere between 20 and 30% of all main characters are Troy Baker. But I'm pretty sure that that's who that was. Comes out September 3rd. Don't have a ton to say about it other than it looks great. It looks like What If The Witcher was vampires, and that's that's good for me. That's all I needed to know.
Yeah, look neat. I will say, starting from here, roughly around this point, is when I gave up and stopped watching. So I don't know anything else that happens.
Okay, well then I'll be happy to surprise you with some of these things. Okay. This first one's not going to be one of those things. So they announced a single-player Among Us game called Among Us Story on Guard, where it's like sort of it's just like a little RPG. You're still going around solving the murders, but it's, little text box pop up for the characters. And so it's a single-player thing. I don't know. It's kind of cute. Sure, I'm down for that. Why not? They also told us more about the upcoming Among Us cartoon that's going to Paramount Plus, starring Yvette Nicole Brown, Patton Oswalt, Elijah Wood, Ashley Johnson, Phil Lamar, Wayne Knight, and a bunch of other fucking people.
All-star cast for Among Us.
And it looks like shit from what we saw, but I like that cast, so maybe I'll watch a couple episodes just because what the fuck else am I doing with my life? Playing with my balls, I guess.
Like George R. R. Martin.
Like George R. R. Martin. Then they announced a story DLC for James Bond First Light. It just looks like it's one little mission that's getting added, which it feels like is a thing that they're going to do a lot of. If it follows the typical IO Interactive sort of model, they'll add random missions just after the fact. This one seems to feature predominantly Lenny Kravitz's character, whose name is, I guess, Bama. Haven't played it yet. It's literally just called Bama Will Return is the only tagline I could see. So I guess that's the name of the mission.
In Avengers Doomsday. Alleged.
Monster Hunter Wilds is getting an expansion next year. It's called Ascendance, and it takes place in the sky. I think that's really cool. I'm a big fan. I'm a fan of Monster Hunter. I don't think big fan is maybe accurate because I don't fuck with the post-game stuff, which most people would be like big fan. So, but it looks cool. I'm excited for that. Attack on Titan 3 was announced, and the entire fucking trailer was huge spoilers for the show because they were like, this tells the entire story of the show, which they chose to explain by having the first frame of the trailer being huge fucking spoilers. So I hope that nobody doesn't know the Attack on Titan story who would care, because oops, fuck, all spoilers. Then we got a trailer for Clutch. This was just announced a couple days before this, and I don't know why they didn't just wait for it to be announced here, but this is former Turn 10 guys, the Forza, not Horizon, but Motorsport team, who left to do their own thing a couple years ago. This is just a different racing game, but it has a single-player story, and the car has a grappling hook. So you're doing some like kind of hood rat shit, but it looks good. Honestly, it looks a lot better than I thought it was going to at the first announcement that we got a couple days ago. So excited for that. And then here are the final two and two of the probably bigger announcements, two that are actually worth talking about. Is they announced, well, we've already knew it existed, but we got the first proper trailer and look at The Wolf Among Us 2. The Wolf Among Us is my favorite of the Telltale games. People really like the Walking Dead ones. I agree. I think the first two of the Walking Dead ones are very good. But Wolf Among Us is great. It's a fucking amazing show, or amazing game, and the comic it's based on is also really good. Fables, read it. This was awesome. I was very excited to see this. It doesn't come out until I think holiday of next year, but they're also remastering the first one because of course it's been 100 years. So they're remastering that one, and that one comes out a lot sooner. So I will probably double dip and go in on both of those. Very excited for it. It's going to be great. Good times. Good times had by me. And then the thing that they ended the show with was the third and final Final Fantasy VII remake. It is. This was very heavily rumored. We basically knew it was going to be here, but they did go really deep in depth in it in a way that I frankly didn't need them to. But maybe if the show hadn't been 5 hours long, I wouldn't have felt that way. So I don't know. It's called Final Fantasy VII Revelation. It is it's going to be the last one. It's the ending of the game. They really went deep on explaining who the characters of Vincent and Sid are. I don't feel like I needed that. I feel like maybe just let me learn that in the game, but why not? Sure. Fuck me, I guess. They were like, we perfected the combat, and then went on about that for about 7 minutes that I also didn't need. But hey, man, looks good. I still haven't played the second one of these, and I want to, so I will do that and then be ready for this in spring of 2027.
Okay.
Skyler, do you care about that?
That gives me enough time to actually play the other remakes that I haven't.
Yeah. Probably won't, though.
2027 is a long time. Well, spring's not that far.
It's about a year.
But I got time.
Yeah, but there's going to be a lot of other things. You're going to play Fallout 3 like 7 more times between now and then.
I don't have. There's other things. I gotta beat James Bond. It's gonna take me till spring 2027 to beat James Bond.
So I didn't think. I thought the PlayStation show was pretty good. I think it was a pretty solid showing. A really for them especially a really good showing. I feel like a lot of times they will roll up with like a game and be like, "That's the whole thing," and we're like, "Cool." So them having 3 or 4 that were really genuinely exciting was a really good time for them. And frankly, they need it because like we talked about right before, they've not been doing super good with the first party sales, so it's cool to see that. Summer Game Fest also had some really good announcements, but was paced like shit and presented by a person who is not good at presenting, and so the show itself was shit, even though it had some cool announcements. That is my personal takeaway so far of this Summer Game Fest.
Keighley shows are always paced like shit. They always get good stuff.
Right.
My favorite thing I've seen so far, the Veronica. Of course, it's something that the fans have been asking for and have been basically expecting forever.
We knew it was coming. Yeah.
So yeah, it was only a matter of time. But the fact that boom, there it is that it's in the lead right now. Of course, we have to wait until. Well, you said tomorrow, as of recording, is the Xbox. I guess our episode will be up.
The Xbox One is on Sunday, so when it comes out,
so
it goes, because the episode will go up tomorrow, and then the following day will be.
All right, we'll see what they got
pretty soon. We're expecting some pretty big things from that show, so hopefully that one's also good. But so far, I haven't been disappointed. You know, PlayStation did better than I thought they would, and Keighley was pretty much on level with what I thought. So, I don't know. It's been a good showcase season so far. If anybody wants to let us know what you thought about the showcases or something that you're looking forward to in the Xbox showcase, let us know in the comments down below on Spotify, YouTube, my Blue Sky. Don't do it on Twitter. I probably won't read it. That's basically just used to blast out things. But hey, you can follow the show or on Twitter at rsr_pod or me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Daniel J. McGee.
Or you can follow me on Blue Sky at Skyler8bit, allegedly.
Until next time, everybody, we'll see you around.
Bye.
Bye.
The game's just starting, the world's so bright. Jump right in, everything feels right. Let's play, take a trip back in time.